Hello, and welcome to Concert Choir. My name is Christine Neville, and I have the pleasure of being the new high school choral director here at Verona High School. A little bit about myself. I graduated from Montclair State University in 2015 with a degree in music education, concentration in vocal studies. Upon my graduation, I began employment at Architect Music Academies, where I teach private voice and piano lessons. 2 years ago, I was the middle school music director at Hawthorne Christian Academy, and during my time there, I also assisted in the high school choral program. I am excited to be here, and I am excited to get to make music with your students. Concert Choir is a non-auditioned group of students that meets during third period on A, C, and D days. In Concert Choir, you have the opportunity to be introduced to various repertoire, to grow your knowledge of music, especially choral music, to challenge yourself to learn more about sight reading, music notation, and to learn about how your voice can affect the world and how your voice can change the world. A really special part of being a student in the Verona High School Choral program is the opportunity for private lessons. These lessons are one-on-one, 25 minutes in length, and are scheduled throughout the marking period. Students are given 4 lessons a marking period, totaling 16 lessons. That's a lot of time for me to get to work with your student individually, to grow their strengths, to challenge them, to overcome some of their obstacles that they have chorally, and is a great time for me to just build rapport with your student and to encourage them to be the best that they can be. In voice lessons, we will be selecting repertoire of classical and Broadway or other genres that your student is interested in, and in these repertoire choices, they will be accessible for your student vocally, and they will also present new challenges for them to overcome. If your student currently studies with a teacher outside of the Verona High School, I will collaborate with your student and their current teacher so that I can do my best to expound on your student's current progress and to help further them in their goals. As I'm sure you are aware, remote learning has presented a new challenge for choral programs across the United States. My goal for remote learning is that during your students' scheduled class time, as a class, we will meet and I will review the goals and objectives for the day, whether it be memorizing a section of their music, note learning, sight reading goals, sight reading submissions, part testing videos, anything that we would have done in class, I do expect students to do remotely. Now, it will be difficult for us to sing together due to lag that we would receive in internet connections. Unfortunately, the only way to overcome that obstacle is for your student to kind of become more autonomous in their learning. And through this autonomy, and in order to encourage autonomy, I have given part testing assignments. What is a part testing assignment? Part testing is your student sitting with their music with a headphone in ear, listening to a recording that I have provided of their part in the foreground and all other parts in the background, whether it be accompaniment only or accompaniment with other choir members singing from a professional recording that I have obtained. In this part testing video, your student will sit there with their music, record themselves visually so that I can see what's going on not only here, but also everywhere else in the body. Because as your students are learning, and if they haven't told you yet, there is a lot of really crazy stuff that happens in our bodies when we are singing. And I need to see that, to understand how your student is doing, how they're learning, and just how much of their voice they are using and whether they are using that voice in a healthful manner. And thus, that's why I assign part testing videos. There is a rubric posted to our Google Classroom that you can definitely find and discuss with your students and review, and I will use that in grading. I'm sure this doesn't come as a shock to you, but we do have a Google Classroom. Our Google Classroom will be our hub, our home base for figuring out what our assignments are, finding music in case we lose our music, finding forms, finding song learning tracks, finding and understanding upcoming assignments within the choral program here at Verona High School. Google Classroom, I hope to have organized in big titles. So we will have a portion for song learning tracks, a portion for forms, should we be traveling, and I do hope we travel. A section for part testing assignment submissions, a section for sight reading. This year, I'm going to continue to incorporate Sight Reading Factory into the curriculum for the choral program, and Sight Reading Factory assignments will be posted to Google Classroom as well. My expectations. Whether we are remote learning or whether we are in person singing, my expectations are that your students will come prepared to class with their music binder, their music, a water bottle if they need some, and also a pencil. My expectations are when a piece of music is learned or a part of music is learned, your student is going to be practicing that outside of class time. Singing is all about neurons firing in the brain and muscle memory and memorization, and it is so critical that your student practice outside of class, and that is a very high expectation that I have for your students. Another expectation that I have is that your students are going to have fun. I will do my best to present opportunities in class for students to engage in getting to know one another or engaged in activities that will strengthen the community that we have created in the choral program, and also to strengthen their ability to project their voice into the world around them. As always, my email is chneville@veronaschools.org. Just think choral, just like CH, choral, at veronaschools.org. And my extension is 1961, but I will respond much better to an email if you need to get in contact with me. Or you can reach out to me at Remind. If you're not sure what Remind is, hop on that Google Classroom and find the title that says Remind. There is a code for you to join. It's a really simple messaging app that you can just reach out to me. You can text me, and I can respond via text in a way that you don't have to have my phone number, so my phone doesn't get blown up all the time. It's just neatly organized into an app. And should you have any questions about our communication, it's stored there, and I can always send you a PDF from Remind as well, detailing our conversations. As always, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Please don't hesitate to stop by. I look forward to meeting all of you, and I look forward to making music with your students this year. I am so honored to be a part of this faculty, and just working with your students this past week has been such a wonderful experience. Your students are so talented musically, and their drive and passion for singing is unmatched. And I'm really proud to be here. And I look forward to encouraging your students